Hey everyone, it's Saul Moraney in Cape Town, South Africa, and today I've got a very special treat for you because I am interviewing a very special lady, Andrea Fulton, who lives in the USA, and Andrea's just been awarded a massive achievement where she got the JVZoo product of the day for her own solo launch of her product called Affiliate Cash Empire. So Andrea, thank you so much for coming on the call. I really appreciate it, and it's a great opportunity to speak to you today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. And, really, guys, I met Andrea last year at the JVZoo Marketing Mayhem event in San Diego. And, Andrea, you'll remember I had just been injured. And Andrea is an amazing lady. I mean, she's also bounced back from adversities and she never gives up. One of the few internet marketing women around, so she brings a great energy. And Andrea, just thanks so much again for talking to me. For anyone that hasn't dealt with you before in terms of your products or maybe some of your services in terms of traffic, etc., tell us who you are. How did you get into internet marketing? And to summarize it, how did you get to where you are at the moment?
Well, I started messing around with internet marketing in like 2001, and I gave up because I just couldn't get a hold of it. I didn't understand it. It didn't make any sense, so I quit. And I went to work full-time for FedEx and drove a delivery truck for quite a many years. And then when you work for FedEx, you don't have I worked for FedEx Ground and home delivery, and you're self-employed when you work for them. And I got pregnant with my son, who is now almost 7 years old. So I had to quit working for FedEx because obviously I can't be on a truck delivering big heavy packages all the time while pregnant. So I ended up staying home and decided that and this was 2008 by this time, and I decided I was going to start to try to figure out how to do this. How does this whole, I know people can make money online. I know people do it, and I know they do it well enough that they never have to go to a regular job again. So I was like, I'm going to figure this out, no matter what, I'm going to figure it out. And so I started really slow and made a lot of worthless newbie mistakes that happen where you're just basically wasting time and not learning anything. And I started building a list. And once I started doing that, then things started changing for me. And I was able to go, completely full time within, I would say by 2010, I was full time. I wasn't working. My husband wasn't working. He had fallen and broke his back actually. And we decided then that, he was going to stay home and help me with the baby. And I was going to do this. And that's where we've been pretty much ever since. I've just been growing my business. In about 2011, I started selling solo ads to help people grow their lists and, expand their businesses. And since then, I've been doing that for 5 years, selling solo ads and helping people optimize their funnels and make sure that their squeeze pages work right and getting quality traffic to help them build their list and convert their buyers into sales and or convert their freebie seekers into buyers. And so I've now been noted the queen of solo ads because I sell solos to some of the highest profile marketers that are out there, and they trust me. And so, yeah, and I created Affiliate Cash Empire as something that would be able to, a lot of the stuff I see on the daily with people that are trying to buy solos and understand how their squeeze page is supposed to be and what the best way for their squeeze page to convert and stuff like that. And so I took a lot of that information to help people be able to learn that you can make affiliate sales while building your list and get this whole cycle going to where you can really profit while building your list, and how to speak to your new subscribers and get them to know, like, and trust you so that they ultimately, start buying from you on a regular basis.
Oh, excellent. Right. So, I mean, that is your product that you come out with is called Affiliate Cash Empires. And I want to come back to that in a moment. But before we get there, because, we're talking right now and you've had such great success, but I've seen you come also from from setbacks, and it hasn't been a straight, easy path, as it never is. What I'm interested about, Andrea, for myself specifically, and I know for everyone that's watching, they would be interested as well, because it's fascinating all around. From when you came back that second time and you said, I am going to make this work, I know you've also got such great connections where you're close to everyone in the community, and the big guys love you, and that's come through a process. But what was that shift for you, like when you decided in 2008 to take this seriously and you achieved so much quickly? Obviously you had stress with bills, as we all have, and oftentimes we think like, when I get my loan paid off, I can be happy, or when the kids move out the home, I'll be happy, or if I just had the bank stop phoning me for this damn house, I'd be happy. But it comes down to a lot of taking action in the moment, despite those fears, and that can be a motivation as well. I want to find out, like, that internal shift when you started to believe in yourself and when you started to see things actually come right and you started to taste blood, like to see that you weren't actually delusional. Talk me through that process. That I'm very fascinated about.
It's like a lot of people think that just like one day you turn on the computer, you do some stuff, and boom, you're rich. And it's not a steady uphill scale to where you slowly just keep moving up. It does one of these things where, one day everything is fantastic. Nothing can go wrong. Everything's amazing. Everything's working exactly the way it should. And the next day, it's like the worst day of your life. It's like, how could anything get any worse? I'm going to give up. And really, like, in this business, you need to find the reason why you're doing it all. And a lot of people have lots of different reasons, whether it's their kids, whether it's the fact that they just want to finally be comfortable. I've been the paycheck to paycheck chick. I've been the person that's rooting for a couple quarters in the couch cushions, trying to get enough money to get dinner together for the night before payday. Like, I've done all that stuff. And to move up slowly but surely, every little bit of progress was an improvement. It was an achievement because it was something that I had never been able to do before. And so, like, the whole entire going through it, there were ups and there were downs, and there still are to this day. Like, it's not like my life is I'm just like an amazing happy all the time. Like, I am happy all the time, but it's like, we still have rough spots, when business slows down or we have to re-implement something or something didn't work right the first time. I just know that for me, myself, I just make it so that I don't ever give up. I won't quit because my kids rely on me for what I do. This house relies on me to be paid for. And that's all stuff that keeps me motivated to constantly keep going and never giving up, because I want to achieve those things. And so it's a slow process in the beginning when there's so much to understand sometimes, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. But if you take it step by step and you just keep pushing forward no matter what, and know that because you want it bad enough, there's an outcome on the other side that is going to bring you positive results, because you're going to keep trying and you're going to eventually make it.
Wow. So that's interesting what you're saying. That basically I can relate to exactly what you're saying. It was your mind shift. And I think that your mind shifted and you made that decision and you identified your whys. And, I went through your product yesterday actually, and I finished it off this morning. And what struck me about it is that it's very simple product, but you've laid out a specific strategy that has worked for you, that has worked for many other people. And, just before we come on to the specifics of what people are going to learn when they purchase your product, I want to ask you, how important, in your opinion, is to be focused? I mean, in the internet marketing, we see so many times that people are dabblers. So they like jumping around. One day they're doing e-commerce, and the next day Shopify, and the next day is CPA or whatever it is. And so they're dabbling. And also what you've said is the mindset, because the mindset underpins all of that. So, I'd like to ask you if you can just address that for me and for anyone that's watching. A, how important is focus in this business to achieve success? And B, for someone that focuses on what you teach him, what specifically are they going to get out of your course?
Well, definitely focus is huge. There's this thing, I'm sure you've heard it before, the shiny object syndrome. And it happens to us all too often because you've got, okay, great, this method's working amazing, and this guy's made all this money, and he's doing great with it. And then next week, there's this thing over here, and this guy's making all this money, and it's great. And you're bouncing around from all this different stuff. You're doing CPA, you're doing Shopify, you're just trying to accomplish 35 tasks at once because eventually they'll all make money. And there's nothing wrong with being interested in other stuff, but you need to find one thing that works, one thing that has been proven to work, and do it, and not let yourself get derailed over it, because your focus on that one thing is inevitably what's going to bring you money. Because when you're trying to spread your focus out over a whole spectrum of things, you're not going to get anywhere fast, because you're going to be doing a little here and a little here and a little here and then back over here. And things get confusing and mind garbled along with all of our whole life. So it's really, really hard. But if you put all your work and all your focus into one thing, you will streamline that to be able to make that work for you. And that's where Affiliate Cash Empire comes in, because the methods that I teach in this product are one method that every marketer that is being successful with their business and everything like that is doing. It's not some fly-by-night kind of thing where, this week this guy made $10,000 with this, and next week you're going to go do $10,000 with that. It's one method that's been working for every marketer that I know does it. Every marketer that I know does it. Everybody who's successful that understands the process of how to do it is doing it, because it just flat out works. And it's a perfect way to begin to grow your business no matter what. So in Affiliate Cash Empire, I teach you like how to pick a niche. Where do I start? Most people don't know, okay, I can build a list, but what in the world do I do with it? How do I do it? So we go over niche selection. What is the thing that you want to build your list on? There's all kinds of ways to do that and to select that perfect niche. But we go from that to understanding autoresponders, which a lot of people, I know I did, and I looked at it like, oh my God, look at all these buttons and things I've got to set up. And it was a little overwhelming at first, and so we go over understanding an autoresponder and what the purpose of the functions are that we need. And then we go over setting up a squeeze page and what's the best format for a squeeze page and why it should look like this and not like anything else, and stuff like that. I mean, and I'm trying to think, we go over follow-ups and broadcasts. What's the difference? Why do we have these two options to send people mail to, And we go over tracking and testing and the whole entire setup. How do we go from A to Z to get this where it goes? Where's the best place to get affiliate offers? And just the whole method behind it to get a perfect understanding of why we do this in order to make money and build a list and then work with our list to be able to make more money from them in the future, because we want them to know, like, and trust us.
So true. Wow. Well, you've summarized exactly, I think, what needs to be said. The Affiliate Cash Empire does that. And it reminds me also a lot of our friend Jeremy Kennedy, because he's put out similar products that really touch on stuff that it's very fundamental, everything that you taught, and how to confirm that you got the right niche is so important, and how to set up that squeeze page, guys, is so important, and the technology and how to interact with it. And Andrea, what I like about your course as well is that you've presented the information in different ways. So if one wants to watch the video or have those PowerPoints and the notes, that's a great help. I know that everyone learns in different ways.
Right.
And guys, listen, I mean, this is so important that if you watch this interview, I hope that you got value out of it. Andrea, for me, it's really been a pleasure to know you. As I say, I admire you because I've seen you really just around, and you've done so well, and you've packaged your information that is going to go out and help a lot of people. Guys, the price is about $10 at the moment. I know that it's, these products do go up in price, but Andrea, it's around $10. The question a lot of times people ask me, and because we are living in such an instant gratification sort of society in general, for someone that sits down, purchases, they loved your story, they know that the recommendations are good for what I give. For someone that sits down and invests $10 and starts going through your course, how long would you say it will take someone to go through it properly?
If somebody didn't know anything about what we were talking about in there, it's probably going to take a little bit longer. I would probably take, a good few days to look over the information, take notes on the things that possibly maybe, something a little bit more that you'll struggle with, like, finding out the niche you want to be in or something like that. But quite honestly, like, if you're even remotely familiar with any of it, any of the IM stuff, as far as, like building a list or stuff like that, it's really going to be a good way for you to streamline the production of building the affiliate funnel so that you can start building the list and making commissions. I would say no more than, depending on your already skill level that you have, no more than a couple days, really. It just depends on the speed you want to work at, and because all the resources are available to you online whenever. So, I mean, it's really, I mean, it's set up so that, you can take your time learning it if you want to, and do other research about what I talk about inside the product, or you can like literally follow the steps and just get it together. So, I mean, for each customer, I would think it's different, but it really doesn't take long. I mean, now that I know the process and I can do it, it doesn't take me long to figure out, not even a whole day, to figure out where I'm going from A to Z. But, and the more practice that the customer gets with the setup of it, the faster they'll be able to knock out new funnels like this themselves.
Yeah, well, look, it took me, say, about 3 hours, maybe the whole thing. I was also, I was taking my own notes, as I always do. And guys, as Andrea will tell you, as anyone will tell you, E. Brown Rose, all of the big guys, we have to become lifelong students of marketing. So information, what Andrea is really a blueprint. It shows you, as she said, how to build that list, how to monetize the list, how to interact with your list. Every single person's doing this. And for the price, it's ridiculous. I mean, for $10, I mean, Andrea, even if we say a psychologist, which is not internet marketing, but a psychologist is $100 for 45 minutes just to sit down, and they really actually can't do anything more than listen to you. And, guys, what Andrea is doing is she's distilling so much information into a course that is available online. If you sit down and implement it, it will work. I was just struck by how simple it was, and that's what I loved about it. So it's like really newbie friendly, where, Andrea, a lot of even like the CPA courses, they give a bit of a hint at the system, but a lot of it's left out, and that's a lot of those sort of products. Your product is actually really, I mean, I think you over delivered. I know that for you it's also a labor of love, and that comes through because you're in it for the long term. But guys, this gets my highest recommendation. Andrea, I want to say to you, congratulations. I'm proud of you. For someone that's actually I'm going through one or two personal issues at the moment, which we all do. But to see someone like you that's remained focused gives me inspiration. And for everyone that's watching this, just know that it is possible, guys. You can be earning money every single day. You can keep things together what Andrea said, and that's why I was so interested at the beginning, that it had so much to do with her mindset and facing the problems and interacting with people and putting one step forward. That's I think the majority of how she's got to where she's got. But at the same time, she said that she didn't, Andrea's the queen of solo ads. She's not the queen of Shopify, CPA, solo ads, and arbitrage. She's the queen of one thing, and Andrea's become known for that. And this is her information that she's giving over. But let that be the biggest lesson from the interview, Andrea, and especially for me, why it's like flossing. It's just so important to get back to the basics, guys. You can't do it all. You have to be very focused, and the best thing to focus on is building a list, and that's what Andrea's offering. I mean, Andrea, I don't think it would be worth for someone to start looking at CPA heavily, for example, if they haven't built a list. It's really putting it's like buying furniture before you know which house you've got. And I mean,
it's all like that. It's all like that. If you don't build the list first, there's no point in doing what you're doing. If you've built a product online, well, you need to build a list from that, but you need to know how to properly take care of that list. And there's just the list has to come first, period. Like, no matter what you're doing online.
Exactly. Well, guys, the list has to come first. As Andrea's saying, this is a product that really shows you how to build that list, how to start getting into it and profiting from it. And Andrea, there's no better feeling than mailing, getting people to open your emails. I earn money every single email that I send, basically. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's seldom that I don't get sales, because I built up that reputation that I go through the products and people enjoy it. And also my personality comes through very strongly. And I think, that also comes through in your product. And for everyone that's watching, guys, don't forget your own personality. That's what's also so key here. So, Andrea, thank you so much. For anyone that's been watching, Andrea, and just your final bit of wisdom, so I'm going to listen to you. For anyone that has been dabbling and has been even failing, and now it's the end of the month again and their bills to be paid and they're under stress and even their spouse may not even be understanding, leave us with some bit of inspiration before we say goodbye.
My little bit of inspiration is that we are all unique individuals, and there is something about us that people are drawn to, our personalities, the way we are. Don't be shy to get out there on the internet and start building your brand, your company. Get people to know, like, and trust you for who you are. A lot of people like me because, I'm just real, I guess. Just not, I'm me. And that's what people enjoy. And it's shocking to see the number of people that enjoy you just the way you are. So don't be afraid to get out there and start building your business and making connections with people. You're not always going to have everybody be 100% happy with you or what you sent, but don't worry about them, because there's going to be so many more people that are interested in you and what you have to offer. And whether you believe it or not, each and every one of us have something to offer. It may not be in the make money online niche or dog niche or whatever, but you all have a passion. You can use that passion to make money online. And it's honestly that simple. So don't forget that, because you can take that passion and you can totally get it out there and enjoy what you're doing and make money from it religiously. So.
Well, great answer. Thank you. I love that answer, because it actually wasn't even material. It was more exactly what you're saying, and what I said before is, your personality will come through. Be the best you can be. Be the best you that you can be. You're going to make mistakes, but pick up and start again. And, if you believe in yourself, you can achieve it. And with building a list, with having the fundamentals in place, which Andrea's offering, I mean, there's proof that it's being done every day. So, Andrea, thank you so much, guys. For anyone that's been watching, it's been stormy raining in Cape Town, South Africa. I hope that you got a lot out of this interview. Watch it a few times, because there's a lot that was said between the lines, and it's not about the product. It's like in cycling, it's not about the bicycle, it's about the cyclist, but you also need the fundamentals in place. And I recommend this product with 100% certainty that's going to help you. Just take action and succeed, and we'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers.